This is Gary McNeil along with Carl King doing what we do best, and that is something for the schools. Right now we're getting some shots of the balloons that are here in the school that the kids are going to be in the parade. They'll be marching from the parade from the primary school to the high school. The balloons have a sign on it which says, London City Schools, please support our schools. Vote on May 8th, 2001. We appreciate your vote. We appreciate your support. Thanks a lot. We got more to come. Stick around. Picking up some shots of some of the students that are coming to march in the parade. We also have the fire truck right there. It's going to, I think, be leading the parade. The band will be obviously probably right behind the fire truck. And we're going to get as many shots of everything as we can for you. Across the street, we have the police cruisers. They will be also leading the parade out there. So the whole city is getting involved. So this is a big thing, and we need that vote. So don't hesitate. Get out there and give us that vote. Vote for the levy. Stick around. We got more. I take it we're live, and we're getting some shots of the kids, children that is, going through the school. They're picking up the balloons to come out, which they will release when they get to the high school. And you see the sign, Mrs. Dillard there, with a sign, vote for the children. Things are starting to pan out. We're going to have a lot bigger crowd here than what I thought we'd have. We're going to fill that gym the way it looks. The balloon just got away. Hold on to the balloons, kids. This is really a big thing. So please say they're ready. I guess we'll just get our shots from here, and then we'll get out in front of them and pick them up at the coming into school. I got the Steady Eddie here on the camera, so I'm sure we're going to get some good, solid shots here. He started laughing when I said that. We'll see what kind of pro he is. He's walking and filming at the same time. And here comes the band out. London High School Marching Band. And the director, Mr. Trent, David Trent is a director. Mr. Wood, vote for London City Schools. We need it. It's past time. Okay, maybe we should back up some. Got some kids getting on film here. Hey, hey. A lot of kids. Carl, I don't know if we're going to have room out there in the gym or not. This goes to tell you, show you how why. Another reason why we need so much extra room. The way they're spread out, but we may not get ahead of them. I know. You want to get a shot of that? The crowd of balloons? Yeah, this is great. Support London City Schools. Make some noise! As a cameraman gets mauled by the balloons, he's right in the middle of it. At this rate, Carl, we're going to have trouble getting in front of these kids.
Yes, we are. They'll be out to school.
This is great.
Man.
This is wonderful. Make some noise! Make some noise!
It's not in my hair!
We need a new school. So you got that?
Yes, we do.
All right. Check this outfit here. Let us see your sign. Let us see your sign. There you go.
Come see Joseph! Come see Joseph! Come see Joseph! Joseph! Yeah!
I think they better start pulling bleachers, Carl, and resetting that.
What's up, Mr. Elliott?
We're gonna be on the news.
6 o'clock news. 6 o'clock news, guys. Yeah. 6 o'clock right now. Oh, you bad. Carl. And we're finally getting to the end of the line. The fun of us probably already at school.
I was like, I finished.
And we got the FFA flag. And here comes, bringing up the rear is the main flag. Okay, we'll meet you at the high school. Picking up.
Chase, wave hi. Oh my gosh. Do you have one of them? Ruby, man.
Rachel. We saw our car and we thought it was all the balloons and covered it. Listen!
Dave Trent. Thank you so much. Welcome. Who wants a new school? I saw a sign up there. Who's got the sign that says I want a new school? Where was that? All right, hold up your sign. That's great. We got to get a new school for you guys. This is an exciting night. I'm Ernie Boyd. I'm chairman of the Citizens for Schools, and I see you need a new school, so we'll try to buy you one. This is going to be an exciting campaign. And tonight we're bringing you together to talk about what we're going to do to get you that new school. I'd like to introduce the Superintendent of London City Schools, Mr. Tom Coyne, to say a few words. Tom?
Thank you, Ernie. I can't tell you how gratified I am to see all these folks come out and participate in an assembly to celebrate a community spirit to try to take London into the 21st century. It is indeed a statement when a community can step up to both the voting ballot and can step up to their children and grandchildren to create a school district that is designed to serve the best interest of these children. So we're really grateful to Dick LeBeau, who has sent a videotape as a distinguished London alumni and is head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals. Dick Reynolds, who is a distinguished London alumni, as well as many of our other alumni, distinguished celebrities, and successful people that London has served well throughout the years in its existence as a school system. So it's a celebration. We need everybody in this room to be able to generate at least 2, 3, 4, or more votes. And that means the students, certainly, as well as those people that are old enough to vote, to not only cast their own ballot, to be able to convince other people to get to the polls and let this community know that it does care about their children, their grandchildren, and the future of the London community. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. You know, I want to recognize a couple folks here that this parade would never have happened without their help. Mayor Dave Eads is here. Mayor Dave. And the London Chief of Police, Mike Creamer. When the folks told me that they thought we might be able to close a state highway to do a parade, I kind of shook my head and just stood back, and it happened. Thank you so much. We'd now like to show you a quick video from Mr. Dick LeBeau, who's the head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals. Could we have the video, please?
Good evening, citizens of London, Ohio. I would love to call you fellow citizens of London, Ohio, but you will have to take my word for it that a large part of my heart still remains in your central Ohio city. It is my purpose this evening to speak to you on the May 8th bond issue ballot, which is fast approaching. I was fortunate to grow up in London and to graduate from the London High School and the London public school systems. I went to the Ohio State University, which is as large a university as there is in this land. My fellow students constituted kids from every county in the state of Ohio, practically from every state in the Union, and in a sense, I was in competition with those students. My training and background in the London educational system stood me in good stead, and I was able to receive my college degree from Ohio State University and go on to what I hope has been a productive adult life. We had every opportunity to do that because the state of our schools, the way that I was educated in London, the quality of teachers was as high as any in the land. I believe that. I believe that all of us want that for the children of today. And that's why I stand here, even though not being able to count myself as a citizen of London, but one who loves London, to ask you to support this issue for our kids and for the future. and keep our standard of education where it has always been, at the top. We were very, very, very close to passing this issue the last time. Let's get those last few extra votes in, and I would gladly walk the lines if it were not for our draft, which I am involved in right now. It's been my privilege, my honor to speak with you this evening, to salute those of you who have done so very, very much to help make this thing possible and make it a reality. It is my ever confidence that it will get done this time. My hopes and my prayers are with all of you. Go London. Thank you.
That says a lot. We have a lot of successful people who have made it in a lot of walks of life from London. We're really happy to have a lot of people volunteering to help London schools. And one of the best volunteers we have is Gary McNeil. Gary is a person who shoots most of the videotape of the London school system. He puts that on Channel 11 for us. He founded the Youth Basketball League, and he's someone that we've asked to say just a few words to. Gary?
Thank you. I'm glad you got me up here before Dick gets up here, because he's kind of wordy and I'd be in trouble. But anyway, I do want to thank Dick for coming. We go back a lot of years. He came over and done a lot of things for us. But to get down to the point where everybody here knows that we need a new school. So it's time to dig in and get some extra things. We know what's going on, the asbestos situation and the overcrowding and classrooms and old restrooms and stuff like that. So we have a model, which years ago, when we had the levy, we passed the levy, it took quite a bit of time to pass it. And by doing that, it cost us money. We had to downsize. We weren't able to build the size of buildings that we wanted to build. So we need to get this as quick as possible. We need to pass it on the 8th. Time is money. And so we have a slogan. I'm going to get off of here because they only give me 2 minutes. I probably took all that. It's called 9 + 9, which means I'm going to ask a lot of parents and give them a list of people to call. My vote, and you call 9 other people. Well, I'm going to bump that up a little bit because we got a lot of kids, a lot of children who are involved in this and really getting behind it. So I'm going to take it and call it U + 2. I'm going to ask every one of you children to get together and ask your parents and whoever you may know to vote, and be sure to remind them to vote because it's awful easy to forget. Remind them to vote. We need it in the worst way. Thank you. I forgot. See you, but I wouldn't want to be here.
Thank you, Gary. I'd now like to introduce another person who is a London graduate who has gone on to do some great things. Dick Reynolds is head coach of Otterbein basketball. He's also the athletic director and assistant professor at Otterbein in physical education. I'd now like to introduce Dick Reynolds. Dick?
Thank you. I only have a half an hour, so I'll get started with that. I don't know if I need this. I'm in a gymnasium. In a gymnasium, I usually don't need a microphone because of sometimes I have a tendency to raise my voice a little bit. I never yell. I just raise my voice a little bit. I think Dick LeBeau's comments were very apropos, and many of you know me, and most of you young people sitting out there, you don't know me, but even some of the older folks don't know that my first teaching contract was for teaching 7th grade science at London High School. In London Elementary School in the Central Building. I taught in the classroom right across from where Miss Round bent me over her knee when I was in the 2nd grade and patted my little behind. Jim Bowles was the principal at that time, and that building that Miss Daniels is in now is the building to where I went to school. I also bought a piece of property up on Route 187 back in 1985 and 87, and moved my family to London High School in London, Ohio, and my wife taught 7th grade English. My son and my daughter went to school in the London City schools. Why? Because when I was in the city, I had the inward feeling to get back to, if you want to, for lack of a more original term, back to the roots. Because I liked London High School, I liked London, Ohio, and I would not be anywhere close, nor my brothers, to having any kind of success, if you term we have success, and that's something that everybody has their own visions of. But we would not have been able to have what we had we not grown up in London, Ohio. Because, as I said before, this community raised us. At that time, you were raised by the community, you were raised by the school system, you were raised by the teachers, you were raised by the church, you were raised by the neighbor that you didn't cut across the yard with. And the schools were the focal point. Jake Von Kennel and J.J. Hartley walked down the halls, and if you heard their steps coming, you tried to find a locker to get into, because they ran the school. You did what was necessary. The school was a focal point. Everyone wants to better themselves in this life. And all you young people out there now, in a heartbeat, you will be 56, 57 years of age, and you wonder where it went. You want to better yourselves in life, and the community wants to better itself. It's proven. The only way is education. You have to have an education. We are building an $8 million facility at Otterbein College starting in May. And part of the facility that we're building is an indoor track facility, a sports medicine facility. And the reason we're building it is we're building it so we can attract students to come to Otterbein College so that they have a total liberal arts philosophy, a liberal arts education, and a liberal arts experience. The education process is not just book learning, it's your surroundings, it's your facilities, it's your equipment, it's your teachers, it's the community, it's everything. So when this levy is ready, this bond issue, all you young people, when you see an older person, tag them on the coattail and say, "Did you vote for me today?" And every one of you young people who are parents now, ask your mom and dad, "Did you vote for your grandparent or your grandchildren today?" Because you can't better yourself in most instances without having a proper educational background. London, Ohio, my brothers and many of the people that are in here tonight that know me and grew up through the London educational system. I taught in it, my family has been a part of it, and still now at this time you need to take it further to ensure that the people coming behind us have the opportunity to do better and do as well as you have. I want to thank you for allowing me to come tonight. You don't understand. I'm just trying to get through this world best I am. I don't look at myself as being an extremely successful or being a celebrity. I'm just Dick Reynolds who lived down there on 163 Elm Street when there wasn't a blade of grass around the house because we ran around it so often. That's who I am. And it's big part of it is London, and I would not be here had people like Miss Russell not taken me aside and allowed me to write an extra theme so that I could pass freshman English. The educational process. Push the people, push the grandparents, push your parents, branch out, get it done this time, because if it's a situation where you are older, if nothing else, it's for the community and for the people coming. Again, it's an honor to have you ask me to come back. I really appreciate the chance. Thank you.
Thank you, Dick. I'd now like to introduce a person who graduated from London, who went on to medical school, became a pediatrician, and came back to London. Dr. Martha Guy. Dr. Guy?
Hi, my name is Martha Guy, and I was born and raised here in London, Ohio. It was one of the first deliveries, actually, at Madison County Hospital. And I grew up on 1st Street, right across from the old Central Building, which is now the elementary school for most of you younger kids. Went through the London City Schools and graduated actually in 1983. After taking part in a lot of what London High School had to offer, the activities, the clubs, the sports, the all-round education that I felt I got at London. in addition to the help from family and people in the community and teachers especially. Vicki Jean Gear was my high school English teacher, who's one of the school board members now, actually helped me very much in getting into Muskingum College, which I'll plug, Mr. Otterbein man, where I went on to get an excellent education. In addition, I was able to play college sports. I was a volleyball player for the Fighting Muskies for 4 years, due to, again, the excellent academic and sports experience I had at Lund High School. From Muskingum, I went on and I entered Ohio State University College of Medicine, where I obtained an MD degree. And I married a naval officer, and we traveled around the United States a lot in a 10-year period. And during that time period was when I really knew that I wanted to come back to London forever. That I wanted this to be my forever home. I always felt of it as my home, and I wanted it to be my home forever. For the main reason, I have a now 7-year-old daughter who's in the 1st grade, Ellie, and a son who's going to be in kindergarten next year. And I wanted them to participate in the community that I felt London gave us, the support and the encouragement of the community. Also, as a pediatrician, I'm also very much in favor of this levy for the kids. I'm very concerned about some of the potential health risks that some of the older buildings pose to our children, some of the fumes, the asbestos, the traffic, a lot of the different reasons, and I really think for our kids this levy needs to pass. And again, just wanted to say I'm definitely in support of this levy and to vote for the kids. Thank you.
Thanks so much. I'd now like to introduce the coach of the London football team, Dustin Calhoun. Dustin?
Thank you. I'd first like to thank you for having me and tell you how truly honored and humbled I am to be a part of such a great group of speakers. And these speakers really represent what London's all about. They're all true success stories. And it tells a lot about the community of London. And the diversity that we have here in London is unreal. We have people from all walks of life. We have people making a lot of money. We have families not making very much money. We have people of all races, really people from all around the world. Yet we've been able to maintain that small town value system that's important. You can still walk down the street and say hi to your neighbor and take your kids to the park. And that's important. That's why my family's here in London. That's why I'm here as a football coach at London High School. The reason I'm here tonight is really, there's 2 reasons. And you would think that it might be because I'm the head football coach at London or that I'm a teacher in the school system here, but it's not. The reason I'm here is because of Parker and Caden Calhoun, and they're my 2 sons. I'm a father, dad, and that title to me means more than any other title I have. It's truly an honor to be a teacher, and it's an honor to be a coach, and it's an honor to be a doctor. But there's no greater title than mom and dad. And with that comes great responsibility. And, you know, we as a family have made certain professional decisions. My wife's a stay-at-home mom, sells a long and burger back. Like I said, I'm a teacher and coach. So we've had to make certain sacrifices as far as we don't drive the nicest cars or live in a big luxurious house. And our children are going to grow up making certain sacrifices. But there's some things that I'm never going to ask my children to sacrifice. First of all is they're never going to have to sacrifice being loved. And their mom and I are going to love them and support them in whatever they do when they're successful and when they fail. And they're never going to have to sacrifice their education. And I know your children deserve the same, and everybody here wants the same for their children. We don't ask very many people in this community to make the sacrifices we ask our children to make. We don't ask our business people to work in buildings as old as our elementary school. We don't ask anybody to make a living operating machinery that was built in the 1800s. We don't ask our hospitals or our elderly to live in nursing homes that are overcrowded, we're using basements with leaky pipe and asbestos We don't ask very many people in the community to make those sacrifices, and we can't ask our children to make those sacrifices any longer. There's been a lot of issues talked about this election, but really it comes down to one thing, and it's our children, and it's their success, and it's the ability for them to receive that education they need to build a foundation, a base that they can use to grow and become successful in the future, like these great speakers we have here tonight. Many times people have asked and talked about the different issues, and like I said, it comes down to one. It's time now to stop asking our children to make sacrifices. It's time now to take control of it and speak for our children. I think our children have spoken for themselves tonight. It's time for the voters to speak for them. And it's time to get our children out of the basement. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Coach. And you said something that is exactly why I got involved in this campaign. There are two guys in this room, Rich and Tom, that are the reason I'm here. We'd now like to show you a very quick video that a gentleman named the Governor stars in. And if we could have the Governor's video, please.
Our children are our future. They are our future doctors and our nurses, our city officials, and our skilled workers. They will be taking care of us in the future. It's time to move the children of London out of the basement and into modern classrooms that are designed for learning. So they can put it in their half of the dollars for the new building. Vote yes for the London schools. Thank you.
I like how you said that. Yes. Now, Rick Parsons is going to update that very quickly with a letter.
Notice he said quickly, he's afraid I'll start talking. You know, one thing that I will say, I've spent a lot of time in this gym. Many great events. I've never been prouder, excuse me, to walk through them tonight and see all you people. Thank you. This is a letter from Governor Taft. I am writing to encourage the citizens of London to vote in favor of the London City School bond issue on May 8th. We need to make sure that every child has a good, safe place in which to learn. New improved school buildings can improve student achievement, boost morale, give a greater sense of school pride, and offer better spaces in which to learn. The bond issue represents an unprecedented opportunity for the London City Schools. Passage of the $9.2 million bond issue will allow London City Schools to take advantage of more than $13.8 million in state matching funds. That means the state will fund 46% of the total facilities plan. It is my hope that the bond issue will be approved so that the state will be able to assist in providing better school buildings for the students of London. Signed, Bob Taft, Governor, State of Ohio.
Over this campaign season, I've gotten to know these people so well that sometimes I cut to the chase too quickly. Rick Parsons is president of our school board, a gentleman who gives, all these school board members give so much time and effort. Could we have a round of applause for the school board members? You all will be glad to know that we're ending our evening. You're going to be receiving this postcard. Matter of fact, you've got several of them as you go out the door here. We would like you to put a 20-cent stamp on the back and send this postcard that talks about the school levy to 2 or 3 or how many ever cards you get, people that are not here tonight, people that you feel ought to support this levy. Because the bottom line, as all of our speakers have said, is this whole campaign is about one thing, and that's our children. And that's something that none of us can afford to neglect. With that, we thank you very much for being here tonight, and let's strike up the band one more time. Thank you so much for coming.